Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I have a quote to share with you in light of the day today. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. We'll talk about that a little bit right now. I'm politically confused. Okay, well, here's the thing, right? I heard something today from one of my mentors, if you will, that you got to make content that you like, right? And then not necessarily copy what other people are doing, but emulate in a way that brings your own specific twist to it. And it can be hard nowadays because there's so much content out there that I'm sure you could draw simulators anywhere you can find. And we started off this video with a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. because it is today a day that we celebrate him, but we should be celebrating what this man stood for all through our lives. And I'm not saying that as a way to virtue signal anyone. Like, the words he uses are important. We're not going to judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And something that I've come across so much since I started like looking into things a little bit differently, not just accepting, mainstream media truths and whatnot, that so many of the people I come across that share alternative views, alternative to the mainstream, are just good, solid people. They're great. If we had met in a restaurant somewhere or bumped into each other out in a supermarket, I would never know that they voted one way or another. This doesn't just go for conservatives. This goes for liberals as well, libertarians, and everywhere in between that. We have a really hard time breaking away from these like tribalistic ways because, research shows, and I just listened to an amazing podcast about this, about how people even the smallest differences will band together in order to find some like commonality, but they'll fight over it. Even something as simple as like hair color. This is really important. This will be a short and sweet video because I want people to know that I'm passionate about this. I've felt this way for a long time, even though I may have gone through this like woke phase of my own. I've always said that like people are just like, there's a lot of good people out there that will, like, even though they vote a certain way, even though they may have like the nuances of their beliefs might be way off from yours. The point is that if we're breaking bread at a table, we will have way more in common than we are going to have differences. And by that, I mean down like the simplest, like just caring for one another, care of people to the left and right of you. And I challenge you, I've done this with my students recently. I challenge you to write down every single interaction that you have with someone during the day and mark a positive or negative after every one of them. Even something as simple as, hello, how are you doing today? Unless there's some sort of fit of rage coming out, and it has to be like not like a perceived action, but an actual action. I know our perceptions are our realities, but like when you really look at the objective interactions you have every day, they're generally really good, even with people who are on the other side of the aisle. So to say that you're going to stop playing video games with someone or call the police on your family members or whatever bogus garbage that's happening right now, like, is just silly. At the end of the day, the only thing you have is your family. When all is said and done, you need to be taken care of, and you've already called the police on your family members, or you've ostracized them for being whoever that they are, even though that those people would take care of you in an instant. We need to really take a step back and look at who we are as people. We need to throw away this garbage of, oh, I'm on the left or I'm on the right. We say these things because it's how we categorize people, but it's getting to the point where we've created a divide so big that we can't even reach across anymore to like help the other person across. This is dangerous, and it's something we hear a lot, but being that I'm passionate about this and people like trying to push for a really like important and strong personal well-being, we can't go on like this. This is not a sustainable model. By all metrics, this is not a sustainable model. But I'm interested in what everyone has to say. Like, let me know in the comments below. How do you see this divide changing? Can we put aside our political differences for, a few years? Can we stop going to the extremes on both sides, whether you're conservative or liberal? You both go to the extremes every single time. You need to stop. And stop making people feel bad because they decided to not watch anything that's part of the mainstream media. And now this term mainstream media is also like this trigger word. Like it's, oh, he said mainstream media, so he has to be some QAnon freak. Leave that shit behind you, because just because someone wants to look at an alternative path, alternative journalism, be it a YouTube video, a personal blog, whatever it is, that's their business, not yours. I'm not out to make policies that are going to push people aside and marginalize them. Far from it. I'm looking for inclusion. I'm looking for people to be able to live their lives. Not even inclusion. I want people to live their lives and not have to worry about someone trying to take away something basic. Is let me just say something. Let me just say something. Even if it is like, people should be able to say whatever the hell they want until it affects the life of someone else. Plain and simple. Shouldn't be deplatforming people just because you don't like what they have to say. Bottom line. Work on bridging the gap, reaching across the aisle, reaching across this giant divide that we've created for each other, and help the person over. Again, short and sweet today. Thank you so much for continuing to watch the channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments and the views. It's all great. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the little notification bell to let you know when every time we pop up a new video. But until the next time, you guys have a great day. And remember, help the person to the left and right of you. Be a leader. Be a good person. That's all anyone ever asks. Thank you.